Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure that notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now, in yesterday's video we reviewed a new release from XX Revolution, and at the same time I Heart Revolution come out with a couple new palettes as well, so that is what we're going to be doing today. They released two of their mini chocolate bar palettes. One is called Rose Cream and one is called Hazelnut Cream, and we're going to be putting both of these palettes to the test today, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. So if you'd like to see what looks I do with these palettes and what I think of them, then please keep watching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you both the palettes, I'm going to swatch them, and then I'm going to do one palette on one eye and one palette on the other, just so I can get my thoughts and opinions on both palettes in the same video. It just makes it a little bit easier, and then you guys don't have to wait for another video. These are both cruelty free and vegan, and they retail at £6, so they're super affordable. The big chocolate bar palettes are £9, so only £3 more expensive. There was no big palettes with these little ones, it was just these little ones. So this is the Rose Cream palette. I love the packaging of this one. How cute is it? And this is what the inside looks like. So as you can see, there are 8 shadows in there, and you also do get a mirror. So for £6, I think that's a really good price. Always love these little chocolate bar palettes. What I also love about this palette is that I have counted, and there's actually 4 mattes and 4 shimmers. So I Heart Revolution have not let me down today. We have an equal amount of mattes and shimmers, and the colours in this palette is absolutely stunning. And then we have the Hazelnut Cream palette, which is in the more copper packaging. This is what that palette looks like. It has the more metallic drips on it, and this one is a more nude everyday kind of palette. I feel like this one's going to be a little bit more popular, but this is what this looks like. It is absolutely stunning. I love the colours in here. And again, guys, 4 mattes and 4 shimmers. So these have a really good ratio of mattes and shimmers. You guys know Revolution have constantly been bringing out palettes that have way too many shimmers, but these have an equal amount of mattes and shimmers. So thank you so much, I Heart Revolution, for listening to us. So yeah, that is what both of the palettes look like. We are going to go ahead and swatch these, and then we can get into our look. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is the Rose Cream palette, and I'm not going to lie, the mattes aren't the most pigmented I've ever tried. I have built them up in a couple of layers. The shimmers are nice. I don't really understand this dark shimmer here. I don't think it goes with the colour story very well. But it is super pretty, and I can't wait to see how it performs on the eyes. Okay, this is Hazelnut Cream. This swatch is 100% better than Rose Cream. I love the colours in here. Definitely more of like an everyday palette. There's even a cheeky foil in here. Like, look how pigmented that is. So I'm excited to see what looks we can create with this today. So I'm still going to do one palette on one eye and the other on the other eye. If you want to see a look incorporating both palettes, then definitely go and check out my friend Lizzie's video. I'll link that down below. But I wanted to do 2 separate looks with the palettes, so if you only just bought one of them, that's a look that you could create with it. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the Rose Cream palette, which is definitely obviously more of the pink themed. What I'm going to do first, we're going to be doing this one on this eye. So I'm going to firstly take this pink shade here, and I'm going to put this all in my crease. It's actually not a lot of kickback. There's a little bit, but really not much. I feel like it's a little bit hardly pressed. But let's see what the pigmentation's like. I'm gonna take a mixture of the pink, but with this shade here, so it's a little bit paler, because there's not really like a baby pink to blend this out, and I don't want to use that dark really shade yet. So I've just spent a little bit of time blending that shade out. I did kind of try and incorporate this grey shade as well, because I'm probably not going to use that at any other point. So I've just packed it on, blended it with this brush, and then I'm going to go back in with that original brush and just Make sure this pink is buffed up high enough so it doesn't look too harsh. So this is what we've got so far. It looks much more blended now. You just got to spend some extra time going back in with the original shade, buffing it out and then blending all of them together. So even though we did use these really light shades to blend out that, we still managed to make it work. So props to I Heart Revolution, because they're actually blending really well. So for my outer and inner corner, I'm gonna use the darker pink / red in the palette. And I'm also going to put that along my lower lash line. Okay, so these are all the matte shades on, and now we need to pick a couple of shimmers. So I'm going to save this one for the inner corner and brow bone. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this on there first, and then if it's too dark and not popping enough, I'm going to take this shade. Okay, so the darker matte wasn't really that shimmery, to be honest, so I went in with that lilac shimmer, and I think it goes really well with the pink. So now I'm going to take this shade here to put in my inner corner and brow bone. Okay guys, that inner corner and brow bone shade is so blinding. I love it. So that is my completed look with the rose cream palette. Now let's move on to this side and we'll use hazelnut cream. So this one, I honestly feel that people are going to reach for on such a regular basis. Like, how cute is this? You could even transform this to a night sultry look, I feel. So let's see what we can create with it. We're going to go similar look, just with the different palettes. So firstly, I'm going to take this kind of like terracotta shade here, and I'm going to do what I did with the pink first of all and stamp that in my crease. And then going in with the same blending brush, I'm now going to take kind of a mixture between this shade and this shade, both very similar to the other lighter shades in the rose palette. God, that's very pigmented. And I'm just going to, you know, start buffing this out and then eventually building the shade back out. Okay, so I've got off all the pigment from this side off the brush, and now I'm going to take the dark brown in the palette and I'm going to do exactly the same, put it on my inner and outer corner. And again, going to take that brownie shade all across the lower lash line. Okay, and then for the middle of this lid, I'm going to take this bronzy shimmer here. And then just because we used two shimmer on this side, I'm going to take the other shimmer in here, this one. It's slightly more bronzy, cool toned, and I'm going to put this on top. And then for the inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to take this gold shimmer here. And that is that on, and again, super blinding. So these are both of my looks. Do you prefer the pink side or do you prefer the more reddy toned side? I'd love to know down below. So now what I'm going to do is quickly hop off camera. I'm just going to put some lashes, mascara on. Yeah, don't need to put lips on because I've already got that on. And then I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Right guys, so I'm back. I just decided to put mascara on for today, I'm afraid. And I used the I Heart Revolution. No, you dropped it then. The I Heart Revolution chocolate dipped mascara, because this is £5 and it's honestly one of my favourite mascaras. Like, if I just show you up close, like, is that not one really good everyday mascara? I freaking love it. And then my lips is also I Heart Revolution. It's the one that I cannot locate the lid for. This is the shade Cookie Dough. I do also have a lip liner on. Which one did I put on? Oh, the Colourpop lip liner that I have. This one in the shade Another Round. So these are my finished looks. Please let me know down below what you think. Okay, so let's sit down and talk about these eyeshadow palettes. So firstly, £6, so affordable, and I love the packaging of both of them. They're so cute, so travel friendly. They both have a mirror, so for £6 I think that's an absolute bargain. The mattes in both of these palettes are super pigmented. I do really like them. I was very surprised at the pink in the rose cream palette because that was very, very pigmented, but in both palettes seem to be very good, very easy to blend as well, so really impressed with the mattes. The shimmers, there seems to be a couple of different formulas of them in both palettes. I feel like the shimmers in Hazelnut Cream palette were a little bit better than the ones in the Rose Cream palette. To be honest, I feel like all the shimmers are the same formula in this one. I think maybe this foil down here and this one here are more pigmented than these two, the other two that I used for my lid. The shimmers in this one was a complete letdown, to be honest. It wasn't very pigmented, wasn't very shimmery. I loved the inner corner and brow bone shade that I used, and this lilac one here was really nice and pigmented. I'm not sure about this khaki, but it does look like it would be a nice pigmented shimmer. So the shimmers, a little bit of a mixed opinion of the shimmers in the palettes, but overall I'm very impressed with these palettes, and considering they're only £6, I think that's a complete bargain. I feel like if you only wanted to pick up one, it would totally depend on what tone of shadow you like more. So if you obviously like pink eyeshadow, you'd go for the rose cream one. If you'd like more of the reddy neutral tones, then definitely Hazelnut Cream, but I think both of them together would create a really beautiful eye look. So if you could pick up both, I would definitely recommend the pair of them, but if you just want to pick up one, it definitely depends on what your shade preference is. Yeah, so based off of my play with them today, I am going to recommend them. I think they're really nice palettes and very good for £6 each. So yeah, that is my thoughts and opinions on both the new Rose Cream and Hazelnut Cream palettes from I Heart Revolution. You got to let me know down below what you think of them. So that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!